Good morning. All right. That was a big introduction, a rising star. Oh my God. You made me nervous. I was not nervous. Now I'm nervous. Oh my God, rising star. I'm not. No, we are not. We're doing well. We're very happy. We're doing well. And that's what I want to bring here. I want to tell you about our story. So I'm Dr. Bansal. I'm consultant nephrologist. I'm a lead in renal research. And with me is Jodi Paget, who is my lead research nurse. We have two nurses, and Jodi is the lead research nurse. So what we want to do with you today is to share our story, what we have achieved in last few years, and see what ambitions we have and how we can progress further from here. So that's the title of the story. This is our journey. It is not journey mine and Jodi from St. Luke Hospital to BRI this morning. It's a journey how renal team has traveled over last 10-15 years and how we have become an independent research unit in Bradford rather than being a part of Leeds research unit. So that's the overview of our presentation this morning. So we want to very briefly talk about where the kidney and research stands together, how we being doing on a national, international level in a kidney, in the renal medicine about the research. And then we want to talk about what's our present, what been the past in the future, and what we hold in the future. So that's a big slide for us. So we traditionally, renal physician being considered as a poor researcher. We haven't got excellent data in the past. We have not been doing very well in the research in the past. We've been always bringing up any poor data, poor research trials in the past, and that's what been there. What's the reason for that? Is that a reason because we just been bad researcher as a renal physician, or is there something more behind that? Is it because it is hard to recruit renal patient, they being sick patient, we all know about that. When I was preparing this presentation, I came across to a slide where it shows that renal team look after most sick patient in a hospital. And I said, wow. I sent that slide all across to my colleagues saying that, see how brilliant we are. We look after very, very sick patients who have multiple comorbidities. Is that the reason why we are so poor recruiter in the trials? Is that a reason why patient doesn't want to consent for our trials? Is it something more than that? Is it something that government is not interested in our trials? There is not much money. We have patients who have chronic hemodialysis, transplant. The industry is not interested in us because there's not much money involved in our trials. So this is a slide. This is a study which was published not that long ago in 2004 in one of the leading journal, which shows, if you look at that green line in the bottom, that we are one of the specialty which has least number of trials till 2004. And this is in spite of having nearly 3 million patients with a renal disease within UK itself. This is with the large number of chronic kidney disease burden globally. In a WHO report in 2018, it clearly said that mortality and morbidity in a renal medicine is nearly same as of cancer, diabetes, and respiratory disease. Now we all know that these are high mortality conditions, cancer, diabetes, respiratory diseases. So mortality and morbidity burden in renal medicine, renal patient, is nearly same as in these leading causes. Next slide. But this is changing now. This is more recent study. This is published earlier this year. So if you look at that, we are still nearly at the bottom of the research table, but we are improving, we are getting better. The number of trials in last 10 years have doubled between 2004 and 2016. Number of renal trials have nearly doubled. The recruitment has doubled. The quality of data has much improved now. So probably we renal physicians are getting our act together as far as research goes. Oops, sorry. But still, despite of all these things, we are still lagging behind in our research. And I think that's where we need to pick up. And I think that's where we need a support. We need a support from government, from the policymakers, from the industry, so that we can research, we can bring new medications, new treatment to our patients. So where we are in Bradford, about from our point of view, from our research side, I think 2012 was a pivotal year for us. Before 2012, we were part of the Leeds research team. The funding used to come from there. We had only one research nurse. We did participate in a major trials like SHARP, Aurora, Astral, which were practice changing, which were landmark trials in that era. But we were still part of some different team. In 2012 was the first year where we got approval as an independent research unit in Bradford. And people who've been here for a long time, John, they know that it took a lot of effort by senior clinicians like Dr. Robin Jeffrey, John Stove, to get that approval for a Bradford unit to be an independent research unit. So that was a pivotal year. We not only got our independent research unit status, we also got funding for a recruitment of a second research nurse. We also got approval for a lead governance role in research, which made significant difference in taking research further as far as renal medicine is concerned. So since post 2012, our recruitment rate has improved. Our number of trials have improved, and I'll show you that data in a minute, that we have become more active in the research, and we are going significantly forward in our renal research in this hospital. It's not only about the commercial trials or NIH trial. We have got a very small but definite independent research activity going on the renal research unit. We've been having more studies. We're doing independent research and collaborating with local and the national level.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the team. Sadly, we couldn't get all our team members together for a photo, so we've just got a few of our team members there. But the renal team is led by Dr. Bansal and is supported by 2 Band 6 research nurses, myself and Andrea, and we've both got a good renal nursing background. On the medical side, we've got 6 consultant nephrologists and we've got an associate specialist, and they all play a really large role in research by referring patients to us and by acting as principal and sub-investigators on studies, and they all hold GCP certificates. So we're based over at St Luke's. We don't just see patients at St Luke's, so we do go out to Bradford Royal to see the patients on the acute dialysis unit. We've got a satellite dialysis unit out at Skipton, and we do see patients out at Airedale too. But being based at St Luke's, it means we're in a really good position to see patients who are coming into the outpatients clinics for renal. And being based on the dialysis unit means that we're in a really good position to deliver haemodialysis research. So what have we got at St Luke's? We've got designated treatment rooms where we can see patients and we can perform consent and study procedures. We've got specific storage for drugs, so that's the drugs cupboard, and we've got a research storage fridge. We've got -20 freezers there, and we can access -80 freezers if we do need to. And we've got the facilities as well for processing of blood, centrifuge, etc. The research office is based on the dialysis unit. It's secure, so it's good for the storage of site files and keeping information confidential. And we've got a seminar room over at St Luke's which we can borrow really for monitoring visits and site visits. So this is our patient population. We've got a vast population of patients. We've got patients from transplant, haemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis and nephrology. And then we've got around 2,000 chronic kidney disease patients as well. So in terms of identifying patients for research, we have got a renal specific database which we can search and screen patients. And we've also got a renal data officer who, if we ask nicely, will help us with these searches as well. So this slide just looks at our previous recruitment over the last 5 financial years. The dark blue shows our target, and then the light blue shows the amount that we recruited within that year. And I think this slide shows that we can consistently deliver and that we will strive to over-recruit when we can. And this slide again, it just shows our activity over the past 5 financial years. The light blue at the top shows our commercial activity, and I think we can see that we are now beginning to get some more commercial studies through, and we're increasing our portfolio. And this final slide for me just shows what we're actually doing now. So it shows that we're recruiting into 1 commercial study. We've got 5 recruiting portfolio studies, and we've got 6 new studies. One of these is a new commercial study, and we're just going through the contract and finances for that at the minute.
Thank you very much, Jodi.
Thank you.
So now, listening to Raj's presentation, I think we tick all your boxes, Raj. When you, Dinesh, showed the slide, you showed that the renal income, commercial income is increasing. We have showed you that we have large database. We have shown our industry partner that we can recruit from that database. We've been actively working with the commercial partners in the past. We have very stable team. We have 2 research nurses. We have excellent facilities. So there I'm advertising myself. I'm boasting myself from leading a team which is very stable, which has facilities to deliver. So just go back. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Right. So what have been our success story? A more recent success story. So this is just last 5 years. Our success story is to contribute to a major 8 publication in a leading high impact journals in last 5 years itself. We have participated in major landmark trials which has changed practice, like FEPOD, ATOM, more recently PDCraft, which has just been published, ACE inhibitor studies, STOP-ACE studies. These are the major landmark trials in renal medicine which are going to change practice or which already been changing practice. A pivotal trial which has just been published, which probably going to change the guidelines in anemia management in UK. We've been meeting our targets year on year. We've been recruiting more patients, as Jodi has just shown you in our slides. We have very stable funding. Thank you, Anjum. You've been a brilliant support. But we've got a very stable funding over year on year, and that keeps our research team fairly stable as far as research is concerned. We have an opportunity to work with the major industry partners, and as I mentioned to Raj this morning, we had a chance to work with Sanofi as well. Bob was here with us, but we worked with Bob. Unfortunately, things didn't go as well we wanted to. But again, we had an opportunity to work with GSK. We have worked with major industry partners even in last 5 years itself. And we do have our aspirations. We do want to do even better. We want to be one of the leading renal research unit, at least in Yorkshire, in next 5 years. We have set our targets. We strive to double our current research activity. Now, we have just shown you data. We are a unit which is recruiting around 100 patients every year in trials. We have set a target. We want to double that up in next 5 years. We want to increase our commercial income. So Dinesh's slide showed us that we are around 24-25 grand at the moment in our commercial income. We inspire to double it up in our next 5 years, recruiting more trials, getting more association with the industry partner. So thank you. Thanks for giving us this opportunity, Dinesh, to advertise ourselves, tell us what we have been doing, how successful we've been, what are the challenges for us, and where we want to be in next 5 years. And thank you for helping us to look after our patient. Thank you very much.